There's a sharp rise in hospital visits during Ramadan, many of them due to digestive problems. There's a surge in uncontrolled diabetes cases because of Ramadan. Thanks to Ramadan, obesity is on the rise in Muslim countries. Gulf countries are now among the fattest countries in the world. But as long as they don't eat pork, it's all halal, am I right?
Okay, so this fool again, David was. He is saying, oh look, so you see the difference that pork is haram and unhealthy. You're not supposed to eat pork in Islam. But why do you go and fill your stomach with halal food all the way up so that it becomes unhealthy for you? The problem is that this fool is himself, he's shooting himself in the foot. And how is he doing that? Is because if we go, right, let me just show you something, Davidus. Here in Exodus chapter 20, verse 13 of the Bible, it says, Jesus your God says, thou shalt not kill. Do not kill, right? This is what your God says. You're not allowed to kill. I am a God of love. You must love one another. You must never hurt your brother. You must, even if someone raped your mom, you're not supposed to kill him. You're supposed to turn the other cheek and forgive him, right? Then what we see is that your own God himself, Jesus, orders Saul to go, okay, and kill Amalekite babies. In 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 2 to 3 it says, this is what the Lord Almighty says, I will punish the Amalekites for what they did to Israel when they waylaid them as they came up from Egypt. Now go attack the Amalekites and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them. Put to death men and women, children and infants, cattle and sheep, camels and donkeys. So as long as you follow God, oh, you're not supposed to kill. As long as you love one another, okay? When it comes to the Amalekites, you go and kill them, right? You can kill the whole people. You can kill women and innocent children and innocent infants, right? Like babies, babies and even animals. Anyway, yeah, it just exposes his hypocrisy. Let's continue.
Ramadan causes lots of health problems for trans fasting Muslims, but that's just the physical. There's also the spiritual. Muslims claim that they follow Jesus. They say, we follow Jesus more than you Christians. Now, what they really mean when they say this is that they follow what Muhammad said about Jesus. They claim to follow all the prophets, but they're just following what one false prophet said about all the prophets. So at the end of the day, they're still following one false prophet and no one else. They definitely don't follow the Lord Jesus Christ, who was the all-time king of exposing...
Bro, listen. Okay, Moses is a prophet in your religion. You don't follow prophet Moses anymore. You don't follow the Old Testament, the law of Moses anymore, right? That was God revealed to Moses. You believe that Moses is a prophet according to you, but you don't follow him. You only follow your false Jesus, right? What tells you what the instructions are. He tells you to believe in the Old Testament, but he tells you you're not supposed to follow the rules of the Old Testament anymore. Come on. You're shooting yourself in the foot, my dude. All right?
Religious hypocrisy. In Matthew 6, Jesus condemns religious practices that are meant to impress other people, acts of righteousness that are just for show. He talks about giving to charity and prayer, and then he says this about fasting. Matthew 6, verses 16 through 18. And when you fast, do not look gloomy like the hypocrites, for they disfigure their faces, that their fasting may be seen by others. Truly I say to you, they have received their reward. But when you fast, anoint your head and wash your face, that your fasting may not be seen by others, but by your Father who is in secret. And your Father who sees in secret will reward you. Notice, Jesus condemns fasting that's meant to be seen by others. If you're fasting...
Okay, and he condemns also that symbol that you're wearing, that Christian symbol of the cross that you're wearing right there, showing people, oh look everybody, I am a Christian, I am this and that, and you're posting this video public so everyone can see it, Muslim or Christian. That symbol right there, my friend, is arrogance, is show off. You're claiming that you're not supposed to show people that you're fasting. You're supposed to hide that, right? You're supposed to hide these acts of worship. My dude, go ahead and hide your own acts of worship. Go ahead and hide the Rob Christian acts of worship who made a public prayer, who prays to Jesus every time before he starts live show. And his live show has Muslims watching and Christians and Jews and atheists and whatever it is, everyone. He's showing his prayers off in public, showing like, oh, he's a man who prays. Come on, man. Come on, don't be a fool. And the cross symbol right there is the same thing. That you're showing people that, oh, you're a Christian, you're a devoted Christian by that cross symbol. That's what he's trying to say. He's trying to say, look, there's a difference between a person intending to pray to show off and a person actually praying. So if you pray in public and you intend to show off, that's wrong. But if you pray in public intending not to show off, just to come to follow your prayer and do it, this is goodness for you. If whoever wants to think that you're show off, it's up to him. But whatever you have in the intention of that is not show off. And Allah says in the Quran, إن الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب لهم مغفرة وأجر كبير, in Surah Al-Mulk, that those who fear Allah in secret, in privacy, they have a great reward. They have a great forgiveness from Allah and a great reward. That's in Surah Al-Mulk. That's what it means, my fool. Alright? Anyway.
In order to earn a reputation for righteousness, your reputation is the only reward you get, according to Jesus. Apart from that reward, your fasting is worthless. Imagine a religion that demands, as one of its 5 pillars of orthodox practice, an entire month of public fasting. It's not fasting in private. It's not fasting in secret. It's fasting that everyone sees and knows about and talks about. You're praised if you do it and blamed if you don't. You literally announce to the entire world that you're fasting. That would be bad enough. But imagine...
So just like saying, oh, you're announcing to the whole world that it's Christmas, and you're gonna go party in Christmas, and you're gonna go do this in Christmas. You announce to the whole world, oh, it's Easter, everyone. It's Easter, the day the Lord, your Lord died and was raised and resurrected, and etc. And you're announcing that you're gonna go party, you're gonna go to your church, sing, do a choir, do this. Like the photos that are placed in your churches, live. Sometimes the sermons given by the church, they're placing it live, praying live in front of everyone. Come on, man. Come on. Don't be a fool. Don't be a hypocrite. Look at the double side.
And what Jesus would think of this public fasting if it weren't even fasting.
So he's talking about, you're not supposed to pray out loud and show people you're fasting and etc. and these signs. His own apostle Paul, right, in Acts chapter 16 verse 25, about midnight Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God, and the other prisoners were listening to them. They just stood up and prayed in front of prisoners, and they were singing out loud hymns to God and praying in front of everyone. What hypocrites, bro.
It allows them to satisfy these desires within an Islamic framework, thus trapping people with their own desires and using these desires in the service of the religion. For instance, if a non-Muslim man goes clubbing regularly and has sex with 100 different women, Islam will condemn him as a fornicator. But if this same man converts to Islam and joins the jihad movement, he can marry 4 women and take home sex slaves after every battle. And
this guy is a fool, wallahi. If he looks at his own prophet's history, Abraham married Sarah and Hagar, right? And he got, he married 2 women. In marriage, yes, because he married them, these are his, lawful for him. In his own Bible, according to him. And also, his Solomon and David, they had a lot of wives, right? The prophet, his prophet David. But what David Wood is saying here is that basically if Abraham had adultery with Sarah and Hagar without marriage, that will be same as him marrying them. That's what he's trying to say. That's what this fool is trying to say. His own, for example, his prophet David, right? He had many wives. So basically David is saying that if he has many wives, right? It's the same thing as him fornicating with them, not having them as wives. See the foolishness in this person, right? Like even for example, if in Matthew chapter 5 verse 22 of the Bible, Jesus says, "But I tell you that anyone who is angry with a brother or sister will be subject to judgment. Again, anyone who says to a brother or sister, Raka, is answerable to court, and anyone who says, you fool, will be in danger of hellfire." Jesus says, whoever says to his brother or sister, you're a fool, he will be in hellfire. And then and then you see in Luke chapter 24 verse 25, Jesus said to them, how foolish you are, right? And how slow to believe all that a prophet have spoken. He called them fools. Oh, fools, right here. King James Bible. He says, oh, fools. Jesus called them fools. Like, he's contradicting himself. So this is what happens when you take things out of context, David Wood. We can do the same exact thing with your own Bible. And we can play around this game as much as you want. But remember, not till our last breath, but to your last breath. Anyway, let's continue seeing what he's going to say.
Become sex slaves after every battle, and be perfectly righteous before Allah, even if he has sex with 100 different women. Notice, same desire in both cases, sex with lots of women. But one is acceptable and the other is unacceptable, based on whether it's advantageous to Islam.
Exactly. One is acceptable, for example, your God says, thou shalt not kill. And then he goes and kills Amalekite babies, orders Saul to kill Amalekite babies, innocent babies, right? Because these are babies. These are not, it's not a baby standing up with a knife and coming and killing you. This is a baby, right? So he ordered them to go kill that. But whenever there's an advantage for Christianity and for your God, then this is accepted. But whenever it's Islam doing that, then you go with the rule, thou shalt not kill. Right? That's how you play around. Okay. Yeah, and his prophets, God had no problem with others taking other wives as long as they wed them. They take them as wives, not not basically go around and sleep with them without marrying them, right? There's a difference, fool. That's the difference, my fool. All right. Anyway, when your God flooded, your own people and Noah, the people of Noah, he flooded them and killed them, babies and everyone. That's your God that says, "Thou shalt not kill." That's your God of love. But whenever it's advantage for Christianity, they can kill. There's no problem. But whenever it's Islam doing that, they'll play sensitive and go with the verse, "Thou shalt not kill." That's the fool. Anyway, Ramadan Mubarak to all Muslims, and stay away from Christianity.